that's another show. My wife and I started to watch it, and my wife was not into it because she knew that it was very graphic on every level, mostly. And granted, as you observed, season one was the very worst, and I think they were throwing a lot of that, like it was like soft core porn kind of stuff in. I think just to gain viewers because people would watch that in a fantasy setting because that's just what it is. But I think they really brought it back.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. Welcome to a long-awaited episode of the Musing with Menchaca show. This is the conversational podcast where two best friends gather around a webcam to talk about random topics for your amusement. I had to make a call an audible on the intro. Yeah, normally it's these microphones. Let's see here. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up, share us with your friends, and subscribe for more content. I am your host, Louis Menchaca, and be a part of the conversation. Comment below with any suggestions for topics, reactions to anything that's said, or feedback for the show. And make sure to follow us on Twitter. He's at EDF Thompson, right? I got it?
Correct.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
that's me.
yes. And I
Yep,
am
you
at
got it.
Chakalaka88. There you go. And also, you can follow me on all the gamer networks, PSN, Nintendo Network, XBL, and Twitch, all Chakalaka88, all across the board. Easy to remember. And if you want anything long form you want addressed on the show, you can email me at boomchakalaka4@gmail.com for anything long form you want addressed on the show. So, that being said, this is we're doing another one of these one-off webcam episodes. Once again, join my special guest, Eric Thompson from Kind of Funny.
Yes,
Fans.
I don't know if I even have you added on PSN. So thanks to the PS app, I'm just gonna check. And let's see. Well, no, you're level 10 and you have 2 platinums. That's you?
Yes, that is me. 2 platinums,
Okay.
and one of them was just Walking Dead Season 1, where they just give you the platinum for beating the game.
Look, I don't want to hear any of that horse shit about Telltale platinums not counting. Okay, they do count, but it's true where, like in The Wolf Among Us, you definitely have to play through it multiple times, and you have to have different decisions and that kind of stuff. Whereas season 2 with The Walking Dead, like you could have your cat play the game and you would get the platinum as long as it pressed did the commands and stuff.
Exactly.
But it still counts. Good for you.
Yes.
Okay, friend request is sent. So wait, hold on. Let me see.
I would have gotten it popped up on my phone already. Yeah.
Hold on. I have to put a message in. The message will be beyond.
Beyond.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Kazat.
That's me.
Kazit. Or is it
Kazat.
Kazat?
That's
Okay.
that was my World of Warcraft name now. So now that I take that care of, I have one question before we start.
All right, what's up?
Are you still using that dope intro music? That bling 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 bling. Are you still using that with that like domino sequence?
Oh,
where it's all-
no. I used it.
Oh,
I changed it up.
damn, that was a fire track. I loved it.
I thought
When I
you might like this one. This one's fire too. I chose
okay,
it. I mean,
all right,
I
all right.
chose it because it's fire. I mean, like, not to mention with the dope ass like intro where it's like you're just kind of like banging your head like that. Like
Okay.
that's my mental image of it. It's
Because
like,
I loved the one with the one that when I was on the last time with the piano that just like that bing bang 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 bang. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I will pay attention to the new one. Yes.
And I especially like because on the outros that's always longer. It's the extended version of the intros, like because what you hear on the intro is like the upshot. Both the last year's intro and this year's intro both have that exact same thing where it's a slow building it up to
Sure.
that crescendo,
And then it drops
and then
into
yeah, and so
sure.
it drops into the intro music. So at the outro, both on last year's and this year's, it goes a little slower, building up until you get to that, and that's why I chose those tracks because of that.
Oh, they're nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much. I remember when Greg was like looking at it and on the my thank you video, and he was saying, "Nick, why can't you do anything like cool like that?"
That's awesome.
And he's like, "I'm sorry, I'm a failure," or something like that. It was funny as hell.
Well, I'm definitely glad to be back with you, and I'm so glad that I was kind of a pest about coming back on to talk about Extra Life and all that stuff that we'll get to. But it's good to see you, and not first of all, you look like you've lost weight, which is great. Second of all, a little bit of facial hair, which is very nice.
Oh
But
yeah.
I've missed you, and I've been so glad to see kind of how things have been going. But I know you've been really busy with school and with work, and so hopefully we can maybe we'll not talk about those things, but we will
No,
talk
no, no, it's
about
fine.
we will talk about games and Extra Life and kind of funny and who knows. And so thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Oh no, thank you for getting me off my ass. I mean, like I said, it was quite the journey just to even get this setup working, which is not optimal, but it's what I got. So yeah.
It's okay. Here we are. It's working.
Yes. And so, yeah, so how do you want to start things off? Did you want to talk about what we're playing right now, or did you want to go into Extra Life first? How did you want to play it?
Yeah, we can kind of touch base on what we've been playing and watching. You go first.
All right, so I am very excited to talk about this. I have never beat Twilight Princess, and so just out of nowhere, I had like a bunch of random ass vacation days sprinkled out throughout the month of September from work. And so the reason being is because I had a whole extra week of vacation hours that I didn't even know I had. So I'm like,
Oh,
okay, I'm just gonna take them in here in September.
sure.
And so I did, and I've been enjoying them. But with those days off, I've been playing Twilight Princess HD, and I am loving the. I hated the first 3 hours, but I'm loving the temples, the dungeons.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous items. It's insane. Like
Yeah.
there's like this one badass fight scene where you're like riding on the horse and stuff like that, and just in the middle of Hyrule Field, taking on these creatures on these rhino things. I don't know if you played it.
Yeah, huh? Yeah,
Oh
I have. Yep,
yes,
yep.
maybe back in the day.
Somewhat back in the day, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I've been excited about. I've been doing that. I've been watching season one. I binge watched season one of House of Cards and season one of Supergirl.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Very nice.
Yes.
Had you seen House of Cards before that at all?
No, no, not at all. I
But
This is
but
my
you have
first
but you
time
didn't get to
watching.
season two. You didn't
I
get to it yet.
watched the first three episodes of season two, and I was
Mm,
very upset that spoilers for House of Cards. I'm so very upset that they killed Kate Mara's character, Zoe Barnes.
Zoe, yeah.
Zoe was just like, damn,
Hmm.
really? The worst part is, end of season one, they foreshadowed it, kind of, sort of, but,
Hmm.
and I was kind of hoping that they wouldn't pull the trigger. I didn't
Hmm.
believe they would. I kind of took it as an empty threat from the writers.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't dare spoil it for you, but oh my, there's just a lot to come. But I'm glad that you're watching it. I mean, there's so much to see and so much to watch, and you can't have it all at once. And so it's kind of fun to like the hype train blows by and it's way past, and no one's talking about it, and then you get to like kind of go in undercover because then you're not as concerned about spoilers or whatever. Like you just kind of watch it on your own and you can enjoy it on your own. But then we can talk about it in places like this. I really enjoy it. The first season, as you know, is just such special television,
Oh,
internet television, I guess. My wife and I watched it together. We watched all of it together, and we're just blown away time after time. And not that it's all so great; like it has its low points too, like all shows. But it's dope. And I saw that Supergirl was on there, and I did want to take a look at that. I'm only familiar with that actress. What's her name?
Benoist, Melissa Benoist, I
Yeah,
believe.
I'm only familiar with her from Glee, from the very little bit of Glee that I watched when she was wonderful there as a singer. So when I saw Supergirl, I was like, is it like a musical Supergirl? But I don't know. But I'm interested to see what they do there. I think it's an interesting kind of play into that universe, into the DC world, and I'm curious how they're gonna maneuver through that. But we'll see. We'll see.
Hmm. Well, I mean, like that show really. The only reason why I'm watching it is because it's moved to the CW. Because they're gonna have a crossover between it, The Flash, and Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow.
Nice.
So I pretty much I haven't watched the last two episodes of season one. There's only 20 episodes, and I got to episode 18 where for The Flash shows up. I watched that.
Nice.
I watched that episode, and I'm like, I'm done. Check out.
Yep. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then also just one last thing is a shout out. 30 between episode 37 and now, I've actually binged watched the entire series up to current, from season one to present, of Game of Thrones, having never watched an episode of Game of Thrones, and not, for the most part, not knowing any spoilers. The only spoiler I knew was that the red wedding and the purple wedding happened. That's it.
Sure.
That's the
So
and everything else was all like new.
so newsflash.
What's
I
up?
am the only person in the world who really genuinely cares for Sir Jorah. Okay, he is my boy. Okay, he and now he's got the stone skin, but maybe he's gonna find a cure, maybe, and he wants to get back with Dany so bad, Khaleesi. And it's so hot, and he loves her so much. And then she was like, "Never touch me again." And then he reached out his hand, and she took his hand, and I was like, and then they oh man, it's just such because that's the thing is Game of Thrones is it and he is too. Ser Jorah is tainted by the sins of the past, but he has worked so diligently to find redemption in her eyes, because not only does he want to serve her and to see her kingdom come, as it were, but he really genuinely loves her as a queen and as a woman. And so there's this powerful, for me, this powerful reality around him that no other character in the show has. He is as close to a knight in shining armor as you're going to get. Now, he's not perfectly shining because of the stuff that happened before, but it's so powerful. Now, the one speculation that someone mentioned was that he'll find his way to Westeros, and or to Westeros, and that he will find Jon Snow and he'll get his sword back, because of course that sword belonged to his dad, who was at the Wall, and then his dad gave it to Jon Snow, even though it was the Mormont family sword. Was it Claw, or was it as whatever it was called? And so it's Jorah's sword to have,
Okay.
and so maybe there will be some like big moment where he and Jon Snow are together. But that's another show. My wife and I started to watch it, and my wife was not into it because she knew that it was very graphic on every level, mostly. And granted, as you observed, season one was the very worst, and I think they were throwing a lot of that, like it was like soft core porn kind of stuff in. I think just to gain viewers, because people would watch that in a fantasy setting because that's just what it is. But I think they really brought it back. And the actress who plays Daenerys, what's her name?
Amelia Clark.
You're like 3 for 3, so that's awesome. But she said, like, after season 2 or season 3, she said, "I'm not doing it anymore." I mean, she said, "I'm not doing any more nude scenes," and she did that one
One time.
from the waist up, but but it was not scandalous. I mean, it was just everything burned down around her and she's naked. And so I think they really brought it back, toned it down a little bit, so that people weren't watching just for that, but really the narrative was standing on its own without the frills of intense violence. Anyway, I don't know what changed in my wife's brain, but eventually she said, "Okay, I'll give it a try." And then we were, we were all the way in, and then so I started over with her and watched everything from season one, and then we watched the last 2 seasons together, and we really enjoy it. And she's an English major, graduated with an honors in English, and so the literary aspect of it, not only the books but the storytelling, the story crafting, is very interesting to her. But I'm very glad to hear that you have watched it.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, I loved it. The last 2 episodes of season 6 were like insane, like Battle of the
Yeah.
Bastards, and then whenever, dang, I can say the word. I like to talk about actresses and as what's her name? I know the name of the actress, but not the character. Lena Headey plays
Oh, damn it! You did that thing that
C.
where I'm
Starts
gonna
with a C, I think.
Cersei,
Cersei. Cersei. Yes.
Cersei Lannister.
Yes.
Hmm.
Cersei just blew everything up. I'm like, fuck.
Yep.
I was like, that was insane, and I was It's just one of those things where it's like I can't believe that I was missing out this entire time. I completely missed that train, but then I started after season six had already ended, and so I just tore through that in about I want to say 2 weeks,
Oh my gosh.
and I was very upset. Like for the last three episodes of season six, I deliberately um, did one a day just to make it last
Yeah.
a little bit longer
Yeah.
because like
Mhm.
otherwise I would have just finished it and then been done with it.
Yeah.
And now I
I
gotta wait till season seven, which
I
like the rest of
I have
us.
I haven't gone back and seen anything from 6, but I think I should go back and watch the whole thing, maybe, like, now, and then in 8 months right before 7 comes out, because, like you, the suspense was so intense. Well, I watched it live on HBO Go,
Hmm.
but basically, we just waited for 9 o'clock on Sunday to roll around, and as soon as it, like, hit play online, like through the actual broadcast network, it was there. And so
Really? Wow.
I think so, or it was when it was over. So it was either at 9 o'clock when it went live on TV,
Or
or it
ten
was at 10
o'clock when
o'clock
it ended.
when it was there. Because I mean, it's not like we're gonna watch it ahead of anyone, like unless we want to like scroll to the end of the file or whatever.
Or
Regardless,
or if it's like well no, I was gonna say about watching it live. Even if you were to watch it like with a 1 hour delay, you would just see like the hashtags on Twitter and Facebook, and then get
yeah,
spoiled for you.
you have to just put your phone away for an hour. You know better. Um, but to really treasure it again. And for me, I think that's why I feel so strongly about Sir Jorah, is because for me, he's like the only real like emotional connection I have left in the whole show. There's nothing else that I feel like genuinely emotionally connected to. I'm curious to see what happens to Tyrion. I can't say I really care too much about like, I mean, I care what happens to Jon, but not really. And Arya, I mean, she's gone like, what was the point of her ever being in the temple to learn how to put the masks on? I don't understand. Frustrated with little things like that where they spend so much time over here, and then you're like, oh, it's definitely going to go this way, and then it's and then they just like, we're like, well, what was all that about? Why did we sit through 2 seasons of her hanging out with whatever with a girl has no name, bro, and then she's like, gotta go, and he lets her leave, like he just like, that's it. It's like, come on. I just, that frustrates me. Um but Tyrion, certainly, to see what comes of him. And then no, I just, there's so many freaking people in that show. What's her, the redhead,
The redhead.
the Stark girl?
Oh, dang, she was Jean Grey in X Men.
Yeah, she was. She did really good there too. She was great.
Dang it.
Her anyway.
Yes.
To see like it, like what are
Oh,
you
I,
gonna do?
I,
I
I
don't.
don't like her character, by the way. She is like the weakest character in general in all of the Game of Thrones. She's always manipulated all the time, and I was until season six that actually did she actually get a backbone. But I think for me that was too little, too late for me.
Yeah, and that's that whole thing before the Battle of the Bastards, where like, couldn't she have just told John, by the way, I think Peter's going to bring an army to help. She didn't even tell him, like, surprise, and he could have waited 15 more minutes, to until the Knights of the Vale or whatever they are roll up. And why couldn't he have just zigzagged? Why couldn't he have just zigzagged when he was running down the? I don't know. What am I gonna say? What am I gonna say? The dragons will solve everything. Don't worry. I mean, that's the thing, is if we're right in our speculations, and it is a song of fire and ice, it's just gonna come down to all the White Walkers versus the dragons. And so, and
Oh
that's,
wow.
yeah. I mean, isn't that reasonable to assume that like that John's going to be on the ground, and he's going to have the sword or whatever, and then Daenerys is going to have the dragons, and then the blights and the White Walkers are going to come, and it'll just be some, and they're gonna they're gonna knock the wall down, because in that last episode, my wife and I were talking about this. They said that never before has a walker stepped past the wall, and all this said to me was, well, they're definitely going to destroy the wall. There has to be some way. They're going to have some, like, metal plated, gargantuan Oliphant from Lord of the Rings or something that's going to blow through it. Because I mean, what like, it's not like they're going to like tap on there with a magic stick and undo the spell. Like, that spell was set by the founders, by the builders. Anyway, we're going way deep
Wait.
into the lore here. I gotta get back before I just.
No, that's insane. You made me think about all these things. It's like wow. I was just thinking like things were. I was thinking things are more simplistic than that, as far as like,
I hope so.
as far as what I think. Whenever they had a comic book girl 19 on Game Over Greggy, and she basically just said, "Here's what's gonna happen in season 7. It's like it's gonna be all about Cersei and her and killing her, and season 8 is gonna be about the White Walkers and killing them." And there you go. I think okay, I
Yeah,
can see that.
that framing is good, but that will just frustrate me further.
Why is that?
Is how long does it take the White Walkers to walk from there to there? I mean,
Apparently,
how
eight
far?
seasons.
Apparently, they got to stop at like every rest area to piss or something because they just have taken their time stealing babies and grim and looking menacingly into the camera. They've taken 8 seasons to take their time, and then they had one dope attack on that whatever it was called, Hard Home or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! It's suspenseful and it's so boring at the same time. Where like you're excited to see them, and then you remember, don't worry, it'll be 2 more years until anything matters with them. Because like and people are gonna say, "Let's go get them," and they're like, "We could just wait here until they come because they'll come and the dragons will get bigger and they can shoot their fire further." I don't know. I don't
You
know.
think Daenerys is gonna be like the king of all the seven? What is it? Is it the seven kingdoms? Like
Yeah,
the yeah.
I don't know.
I'm hoping. I mean, she seems they're building her up like she's like the fit leader, like that she will be wise and kind and all that kind of stuff. So,
I can tell you one thing: she won't be able to do it without Ser Jorah, for sure. She needs her
or
boy.
Tyrion.
Yes, the best part of season 6, or was at the end of 5, was Tyrion and Littlefinger together in the one with the pyramid, that one,
Hmm. Yeah.
whatever it's called.
Oh, did you disconnect your mic?
I
Oh, there we
did.
go. Oh,
Sorry,
there we go.
sorry, I'm back.
All right, there you
Um,
go.
I
Yeah.
hit the mute button. I'm sorry, listening audience. Um, that was such a delight to have Tyrion and Littlefinger and Marine. They were such because it took you way back to season 1, where you were used to them kind of being together, or season 2, I guess. But excuse me, but they just complemented each other so well. It was so fun. Thank you for returning into Game of Thrones talk. Musing well, I was going to put a Lord of the Rings name in, whoever an M character is from whatever Game of Thrones. But yeah,
Oh my God.
it's awesome. It is awesome.